Hello. For this review, I will be reviewing Eric Khoo's 12 Stories and Mee Pok Man. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Mee Pok Man. But before I begin, I thought I would talk about a little bit about why I chose to compare two of these Eric Khoo's movies. I think in both films, I chose scenes which kind of use the montage technique to actually express. And I think in class we spoke about how Eric Khoo is actually quite proficient and well versed in his film grammar. Used to express the themes that he wants to express, mainly the stories of isolation, existentialism, and telling stories about the underbelly of Singapore, which is quite ironic considering how his father actually owns Google Park, but nonetheless, that's not the point. But I thought that Eric Khoo was especially fond of exploring private spaces um, within and between montages or different space-time continuums, and I think this is quite apt. I mean, this has actually maybe influences from Tai Ming Liang, where I also explored a similar topic with regards to the film Viva Le Amor, and as well as the earlier review of Red Soccer, okay, where I explored private and public spaces. Okay, so the scene that I actually chose is the scene where a a cross-cutting sequence of Barney, um, her pimp, as well as the Mee Pok Man himself. Okay, here you see, the pimp trying to, in a way, get fresh with him. I think that's the impression that we get. But I think later on you'll see that actually, probably, perhaps, that Eric Koo was trying to, hint that, the pimp does, have some sort of sexual feelings for for Barney, and now Barney ascends the stairs. It kind of reminds me of the film The Woman Who Ascends the Stairs. And okay, this is cross cut to another space-time continent where his pimp raises the stairs. But it's ironic, you see, because while the pimp raises to have fun, and exercise his financial abilities or capabilities, so to speak, you know, Barney is actually ascending to work, and work for her is prostituting herself, entertaining clients. There's this ironic juxtaposition here. So here you see the man playing cards, and then it is again cross cut to another space, where Bunny is entertaining a client. Clearly, she's unimpressed. Clearly, she doesn't like her job. And then there's just something about the card playing sequences. I'm not sure what to think of it, but somehow it feels like the pimp actually is quite occupied with you know thoughts about her probably. But I think the more pertinent thing is that both scenes have the juxtaposition of entertainment. I think when the men entertain themselves by playing cards here, it actually brings further amplifies the fact that men actually they're actually exploitative in their entertainment pursuits. For instance, in the previous KTV scenes, they touch girls, they do, and yeah, look at them. Um, there's this scene, short of now, them in a hotel room. The things that men do, to entertain themselves, and women just kind of submit. And notice how in so far, all spaces captured are very all interior, all very private spaces. And I think I talked about how film has this ability or tendency to actually film people in their most private moments. Look, I mean, this is like, yeah, this is a very, very sad scene where Barney just stares blankly, slightly off camera, while she's, entertaining her client, And then this is again cross cut, to the shot of Mee Pok Man, And I think the tracking kind of makes it feel that, she's longing for someone out there, someone genuine. And I think that genuine person can be found in Mee Pok Man, albeit, quite extreme in that sense, how she actually goes on to, necrophilia, so on and so forth. And I think in the next scene, I'm going to show you from 12 Stories, again, the exploration of private spaces, and this time in the kitchen of this family. I think couldn't help but see that the banana was actually quite a phallic symbol in a sense, and this guy here, okay, he actually committed suicide earlier in the scene, and he's actually recurring as a ghost figure, and through his eyes and through the things that he sees, we actually get a picture of what's happening in this neighborhood. Again, now the scene jumps to another household, and again we see something very very private, a woman showering the china bride, and this is again cross cut with her husband who is outside there. He's somehow has this sexual longing for her. Again, the use of juxtaposition and associations with image, the montage technique that I talked about. And notice how the husband is actually having some very sexual thoughts about the wife, and then he goes on to the living room, something very very familiar to us, a sight that's very familiar to most of us, and he watches TV, and ironically the TV shows some images of advertisements of that promote. Yeah, you can see here the television. Again, I think the television is a additional dimension to these private spaces. It deepens, the sense of privacy here. And then you see, the commercial of a man and and his pregnant wife. And I think all of this, resounds and reverberates in itself, with these montage sequences and this association between shots. You can see how Jack Neo's lust for the wife while she's bathing is actually expressed through all these images. Yes, I guess that should be it for my comparison and expression of the montage techniques used by Eric Khoo. Thank you.